So I feel like this month you're going to be dealing with a balancing act, and this can be regarding your work. This can be regarding your money, your finances, because in the center here I have the Two of Pentacles. And this says to me that perhaps this month you may be dealing with issues regarding your finances. Perhaps you feel as though there's more money going out than coming in, or you're trying to balance your bank account and make sure that, what's going out is coming in, and vice versa. I feel as though there might be a change in your employment, or that you're having issues at work, but there's a transformation taking place. I feel like this is in the past. I feel like you're coming into a new fresh start, because with this Death card, it's letting go of the old and bringing in the new. So you may have changed employment recently, or found employment in a new company. Perhaps you've received some type of promotion, and you're working diligently on, if you haven't already, then that's what I see coming in. And you're working diligently on that promotion, on that career move, on moving into a new space. I feel like you're wanting to bring more money in. Okay. And you're a little on guard. You may be a little defensive this month. You're a little hesitant. You're not sure whether or not this is going to be a prosperous move. However, I do see it being so with this Six of Wands. And the reason that it's going to be a very prosperous move for you is because of your diligent work. You've put a lot of work into this. You've been working hard to prove yourself, because this, if you look, this Six of Wands is looking directly up at this Eight of Pentacles here. So your victory is going to be found in you working diligently and working hard at proving yourself in your current job, in your position. And that's what's going to allow you to promote and move. Perhaps where you're at, you feel a little on guard and defensive. Maybe you feel like you're not getting the treatment that you deserve. You feel like maybe your boss or your employer isn't giving to you what you deserve. Because in this line right here, we have the Nine of Rods, the Two of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles. So it's kind of like a balancing act for you. You're trying to, keep your cool, improve yourself, but you feel like, like no matter what you do, there's kind of like drama with your boss or your employer. The waves here in this Two of Pentacles talks about your emotional state as well. So there could be some, ups and downs with your current employer and how you feel you're being treated there. This Knight of Wands is moving directly towards this Two of Pentacles, as if to say he wants to rectify this situation. He wants to make it right. The Knight of Wands is all about passion. He's all about, moving forward, getting what he wants. He's rushing towards getting to his goal. And I see you doing that this month, because you are going to be very victorious. We have the Ten of Cups, which talks about, a happy ending to this story. This is a 10, so it talks about an ending. So it can be by the end of this month, may carry over into April. However, there is going to be a very prosperous, happy ending for you in this story. And your wish is going to be fulfilled, because we have the Nine of Cups here, which talks about getting your wishes granted. Okay? It is going to require you to prove yourself in work, to work diligently, balance out these pentacles, so these emotions or your finances, if that's the case. If it's not with your employer, it could be with your finances, work diligently. If it's regarding finances, it's really asking you to pay attention to what's coming in and what's going out, and work diligently at budgeting and finding a better way to budget your money. Either way, I see you being victorious in that. This Five of Pentacles is the overall energy for the reading, is saying to me that currently you aren't happy where you're at. You don't feel like you're getting, these two people are like left out in the cold, okay? So again, with this Six of Pentacles, what this is saying to me is you're not getting the rewards that you feel you deserve with your employer, okay? They're kind of leaving you out in the cold. They're like, we know she'll work or he'll work and do it anyway, kind of thing. Or, you're working overtime and you're putting in your hard-earned, efforts into this job, and you're not getting the recognition that you deserve. So I'm going to take some Verisavia cards. These are my Italian Oracle cards. I've had some questions regarding this deck. This is what the cards, the box looks like. And I've only been able to find them in Italian, but they do come with English and Spanish translation booklets if you're interested in purchasing them. So first I want to look at the Nine of Rods and see what that is all about. So we have the house, which is the casa. We have the reunion, and we have the stanza, the quiet, lonely room. So what this is saying to me is maybe you're on guard because you've been with this employer before, and perhaps it didn't go so smoothly. And this room, this quiet room here, can talk about intimacy, private thoughts. It could talk about standing alone, being alone. In this reading, what I'm seeing is on the Nine of Rods, it's as if it's saying to me, for one, you may be worried about your security and stability. If you go back to a previous employer and you have some, private, what's the word I'm looking for? You have some private, thoughts and inhibitions about it. You're not quite sure if this is going to be a good move. Okay. This could also be saying to me that you're on guard because if you make this move, you're not sure of what the outcome is going to be. This is the empty room. So it's as if, you're not quite sure what is going to be in this room, or you don't know how you're going to feel about this. Okay. With the house and the reunion card, it's also kind of saying to me, you're worried about how this is going to affect your stability, and you're afraid of repeating patterns with the reunion card. I'm going to look at the Six of Pentacles next. So on the Six of Pentacles, we have El Ladro. This is the change, or the thief, but it can represent change. Sospiri, this is the longing. And Belvedere, this is the farsightedness, looking out, watching what's coming in. So on the Six of Pentacles, it's as if there's a change that comes in. It's something you've been longing for, and you're on the lookout for it. Or the cards are telling you to be on the lookout for it, because there is going to be a change in this circumstance where you feel like you're not getting what you deserve. Okay. I'm going to look at the Five of Pentacles next. Okay. So we have Consolete Sorpresa. This is the fortunate surprise. The Sacerdote. This is the priest. And then we have the Messaggere, the messenger. So on this Five of Pentacles, what it's saying to me is there's going to be a pleasant surprise, a pleasant turn of events, because you've stayed true to yourself and true to, you've acted with integrity, okay? because you have worked diligently, and that is going to be recognized, and there is going to be a message coming in regarding that. Okay, that pleasant surprise. Finally, what I'd like to look at, there was another one I wanted to look at here. Oh, the Knight of Wands. What? So on the Knight of Wands, we have Lemoneo. This talks about contracts or agreements, usually of a spiritual nature. Then we have Domestico. This is the male domestic, like the man of the house. It can also speak to a helper in a situation. And we have Amore, love. So on the Knight of Wands, what this is telling me is the Knight of Wands, like I said, he's a very passionate man. He's a very passionate character. He's charging towards what it is that he's passionate about. He's adamant about getting where he wants to go. So this male domestic, this is someone, he can be the provider of the house, okay? And he's looking at this Lemoneo card. So it's like, you're worried about your security. You've made agreements regarding, being a provider, and you're worried about, being able to provide. However, this card of love comes in. It's like a fortunate event. If you go after what you're passionate about, if you follow that intuitive gut feeling of, working hard, working diligently at getting where you want to go, you are going to move into a position where you're much more happier, much more fulfilled, and possibly love where you're going, because you're not going to be in this place of, isolation and feeling, not isolation, but, feeling left out in the cold with the employer that you currently have. Lastly, I'm going to look at this Two of Pentacles really quick, just because I can. Okay, that card popped out. La Graceria, this is the card of tact and irritability. And then we have Fortuna, the fortunate event, or fortune, simply. And Desgracia, this is the card of disgrace or a misfortune. So, again, on this Two of Pentacles, there's waves behind this card. So whatever you're trying to balance out, your emotions are tightly linked into what it is that you're working on, negotiating, or what you're trying to balance out. There is some lightness, some tact, some irritability linked to this. Can be something of a sensitive nature. It's like you're weighing the pros and cons. It's, there can be great misfortune, but it could also be a positive turn of events. And that's the juggling act, and it's something of a sensitive nature for you. Okay. But like I said, on the two outcome cards, the two remaining cards, we have the 10 of Cups and we have the 9 of Cups. So follow that Knight of Wands and work towards, fulfilling, just work diligently to gain whatever it is that you're desiring to gain, and you are going to have a positive outcome, okay? It is going to be a fortunate event for you. Lastly, I'm going to take one of these Oracle of Vision cards. This is card number 34. Interesting. Looks like we have this, to me, looks like you're being freed from something. Looks like we have some type of snow globe with a horse that's been stuck inside. There's two toys on opposite sides of this snow globe, and this horse is like jumping out of the snow globe into freedom. This is card number 34. Let me go ahead and read you the messages associated with that card. It says, breaking free, chasing a dream. Finally breaking free, a real horse embodying a true inner spirit escapes from the carnival shell, which represented his existence up to this point. The constant repetition finally ends as he soars through his glass confinement. His escape and transformation is witnessed with awe and incredibility, but also with envy by those he leaves behind. This card represents the numbing routine of daily life. For example, the mindless repetition of the morning commute. What might be comforting familiarity to some can become claustrophobic, choking of our inner spirit. We occasionally escape through dreams of what might be, but at some point we may act upon them to the amazement of others. Very good ending message, I would say. So that is your general reading, Libra, for March. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe if you have.